guys, my name is Stephanie and I am one half of Steph and Adam, a channel dedicated to showing you how simple it is to make plant-based recipes. And today is kind of like a check-in. I am so grateful for everybody who watched my previous video, which was about 3 weeks ago now, and I'm so grateful for all of the support. In that video, if you missed it, I was talking about my weight struggles after having my daughter Sophie. She's 10 months old now, and I was blown away by the comments and how many of you said that you can totally relate. And it was just such a nice, comforting, like little community in the comments, which was really amazing. And the reason why this follow-up video is coming at you so delayed 3 weeks later is because pretty much right after I released that video, my entire family got sick. The day after Thanksgiving, Sophie got sick and then wiped me and Adam out. And we ended up in the hospital in the ER with Sophie last week. She ended up having croup. It was the first time Sophie had ever gotten sick, and we ended up in the ER. So it's just been a really crazy 3 weeks. But just to give you a follow-up from last time, so last time I showed you how I made my entire week of food, and I ate all of that and I felt great. I immediately lost the bloat that I had. It wasn't necessarily like weight, but I definitely noticed that I was slimmer and my pants felt better, and I felt better all around, just because I was eating foods that were satisfying me, and I felt nutritionally satisfied, so I wasn't like craving chips or pasta or whatever. And I drastically reduced the amount of pasta that I had been eating because I was actually eating the food that I had prepped. So guys, you seriously just have to take an hour, make your food, and you will feel so much better after the week, or even during the week. I felt better just knowing that I didn't have to cook. My kitchen never got, well, I shouldn't say never got dirty, because Adam was still making his food. But my kitchen was a lot less to clean. It was so much easier having all my food prepped for me. So today, I'm gonna show you the next week of meal prep that I'm gonna be making. I mapped out my price list. Today's food is about $35 to $40. Some of you told me I was crazy last week for claiming that my food cost $40 or whatever it was. I do know that in parts like Australia, your food is extremely expensive. I know that from being there with Adam. So right here in little old Connecticut, USA, using things like Costco and sales and things like that, this food cost me about $35 to $40. Good? Okay, so what we're gonna make today is, for breakfast, we just made this video, so I'm not gonna make this again, but it's really easy. It's the salted caramel oats, which is actually in our book. Adam just made these salted caramel oats. Really easy to make. I already have 5 portions right here, so I'm not gonna make these again. If you wanna see how to make these, this oatmeal, then go ahead and check that video out. That video probably already came out. But basically all you're gonna do is, in a saucepan, add the water, salt, and dates. You're gonna bring those to a boil over high heat. Then you're gonna add the oats, reduce the heat to low, and cook for 10 minutes. And that's pretty much it. It's really easy. You can top it with fruit if you'd like. The dates make a really nice caramely flavor. So delicious. So that's already taken care of. But if you're gonna make this the way that I'm making it, with all of this food combined, I would just do that one first, get it out of the way. It's really easy. It'll be done in 10 minutes. While you're waiting for that to cook over the stove for 10 minutes, you can start chopping up some of your veggies if you'd like, so you don't waste time. So after the oats, we are going to be making rice and beans with tomatoes, lettuce, and onions, russet potatoes with a combination of onions and peppers, and then I'm gonna make some sweet potatoes with broccoli and chickpea that I'm just gonna chuck in the oven. So these are all really simple things to make. I'll probably be done in an hour. And as you can see, this is my little rundown sheet. It only took me one little sticky note to figure out, and if you wanna plan your own food, this is a really easy way to do it. Write out what you wanna make, and then figure out what's gonna take the longest, so that you circle it and you write, this is step number 1, this is step number 2, and that's step number 3. And that'll save you a ton of time also. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to cut up the sweet potato and the broccoli, and we're gonna put chickpeas on 2 trays and chuck that in the oven to bake. So we're gonna put our oven on 400 degrees. Now, this is a lot of talking, but I have a double oven. So I'm actually going to bake the russet potatoes at the same time in the top oven, also on 400 degrees. If you don't have a double oven, you can actually just which is what I used to do before I had a double oven, just put the russet potatoes around the tray inside the oven, so you can still bake these at the same time as the russet potatoes. It doesn't really matter. At the same time as the sweet potatoes. And I'm also not gonna make as many russet potatoes right now because we actually just made an entire tray of russet potatoes 2 days ago. If you're making these for your week, I'd make maybe like 8 russet potatoes. And if there's other people in your house, make 12 russet potatoes. Like, just have them on hand. All right, and these oranges are just for funsies. I'll have some fruit during the week. Bananas, oranges, things like that. First thing we're gonna do is get started with the potatoes. Thanks for sticking with me. I know that was a long intro, guys, but all important information, I think. So right now, it is 6:40, and let's say I started at 6:35 because I did just wash the broccoli and the potatoes. So I already have the potatoes on a tray here. I'm just gonna put these in the top oven. I have 2 trays lined with some baking mats, and they are ready to go. I have a scrap bowl out and ready to go. That'll help you keep all of your scraps right in one place, which means you will not make as much mess. So I'm just gonna cut up the broccoli into small pieces and put them on the tray. Actually, before we keep going with the broccoli, I'm going to take the chickpeas. This is 2 cans of chickpeas. And I'm just going to divide them between the 2 trays. After I finish cutting up the broccoli, then I'm going to dice up the sweet potatoes. So now we're gonna add on some salt and pepper. And I forgot, I was gonna add some garlic. Crush some garlic. I will link this garlic press in the description box below. This is the best garlic press in the world. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, maybe like a tablespoon or 2, maybe like a tablespoon or 2 to each. Make that 2 tablespoons each. I know last time I told you to measure it, this time, whatever. If you wanna measure it, go for it. I'm gonna mix it together. I'm gonna let this cook in the oven for about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna take it out, stir it together, and cook it again for 20 to 30 minutes. And then put it in the oven. Set a timer for 20 minutes so you don't forget. Next on my list is the onions and peppers. So we're gonna make onions, peppers with some potatoes. We're gonna do that in a wok. Of course, this had to be a very potent one. So now that your onions in half, oh my God. So now that your onions in half, you're just gonna put it face down on the board, and you're gonna make slices like that. Okay. Knife skills are really, I need a tissue, hold on. Whew, okay. So, knife skills are really essential for meal prepping and just for being efficient in the kitchen, time efficient. So, you should definitely check out the video that Adam made all about knife skills. I got my knife skills from watching Adam, and a lot of you have too. You've left us some really awesome comments about learning your knife skills from Adam. So definitely check that video out. I'll link it in the description box below. Put like a tablespoon of oil, whoop, and start these up maybe on like medium heat while I cut up the peppers. Before I keep going with the peppers, I am going to put the rice on for the rice and beans. So this is 4 cups of water and 2 cups of rice. Add the rice in, follow the directions on your rice, whatever your rice says to do. And I'm going to stir. Let that come to a boil and then cover it. Okay, let's keep going with the peppers now so that the onions don't burn. This was the bowl that had the rice in it. I'm just gonna put the peppers in here. I can hear the onions are starting to sizzle. So after each pepper you cut, give those a little mix. You don't want them to get too brown. You just want to saute them for about 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna add in the peppers. They're not even really brown yet, but I'm just gonna let the peppers sit in there so that I have room to keep cutting other peppers. Okay, now that's all the peppers. I'm gonna add these in and mix it up. And add some salt and then let that cook. Next, we are going to cut up the red onions. Hopefully they don't make me cry. The red onions for the beans for the rice and beans. While you're cutting these up, don't forget to occasionally stir your peppers and onions. And if you wanted to, I'm trying to stick to just mostly whole foods plant-based. But if you wanted to, you could get a plant-based sausage, say Beyond Sausage, for example, and fry those up really quickly and add that to the rice and, add that to the sausage, add that to the peppers and onions and the potatoes, and it'd be like sausage, peppers and onions, and potatoes. I'm gonna cut up one and leave the other one to add for garnish on top for raw onion. If you don't like raw onion, you can cook it all right now. So now I'm just gonna cook up the beans for the rice and beans. Add just a dash of olive oil and then saute these for about 2 minutes. Actually, my rice is about to boil, so I'm just gonna switch it to the back burner and put this on the front burner because the back burner is smaller. Cover that and let that simmer and cook until it's all absorbed. Whew. Okay, while we wait for that to saute, you're just gonna dice up this other onion for the garnish for the rice and beans. So I'm just gonna add in these black beans into the onions. 2 cans of black beans, and now I'm just gonna add like a 1/4 cup of water. So I'm gonna put some water in here. Turn your heat to low and add some cumin and some salt and pepper. Mix together. Okay, now you're just gonna let that cook and stir your onions and peppers. Those pretty much look like they're ready to go. Don't forget, you don't wanna like super cook everything because you're probably gonna reheat it when you go to eat it. I'm definitely gonna be reheating the potatoes and peppers and onions, so I'm gonna leave them so they're not super mushy. So I'm just gonna turn it off right now and let those cool down for our meal prep containers. Okay, how are we doing? We have 3 minutes left for the stuff that's in the oven. No idea what time it is because the timer's on. 7:15. 7:15. Okay, so I have 20 minutes. Easy. Basically everything is done. We just have to wait for things to finish cooking. I'll probably make 6 portions of the rice and beans. I am going to cut up the lettuce and the tomato and put those in the containers so that that's just ready to go, so I just have to add on the rice and beans. I'm gonna set these onions aside. I'm just gonna cut up the lettuce. Now I'm going to add it into the meal prep containers. And look at that. Our timer is going off. Perfect timing. So I'm just gonna pause on this and get those out. Before I do that, I'm just gonna stir the rice and beans. Rice and onions. The beans and onions. Okay, these look good, so I'm just gonna give it a stir. And then put it back in the oven. Just gonna switch the trays. So if this one was on the top, now this one's gonna go on the bottom. I'm gonna put the timer again on for about 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna dice up the tomato, which is also for the rice and beans. I'm assuming you're gonna be reheating the rice and beans, which is why I'm going to keep the lettuce and tomatoes on one side and the rice and beans on the other side so that you can just take out the rice and beans and reheat those if you'd like. Now make a layer of tomatoes. You really have to have a very sharp knife to cut tomatoes efficiently and safely. So make sure you watch the video that Adam made about how to sharpen knives, also a very important video. You get the gist here. You really need to have good knives and you need to know what you're doing with a knife in order to do stuff efficiently. And that's it for right now. So now I'm just going to do a quick clean, basically just put away the olive oil, salt, pepper, clean this area up a little bit, and that's it. Everything is ready. We're just waiting for stuff to cook. Okay, I went rogue for a second just to show you what's going on over here. So the beans and onions are done. You can see the water is evaporated. And so these are ready. So I'm just going to turn off the heat. And over here, this is what the peppers and onions look like. Yum. The rice has now been cooked. You can see that it's ready because the holes are in the rice. And in here, we have the russet potatoes that are pretty much almost done. They should take about an hour. And in here, we have the 2 trays of sweet potatoes and broccoli and chickpeas. And that's it. And just to show you quickly, let's see, we'll turn the timer off for a second. It is 7:30, so I already cleaned up. Everything is like good and ready to go. And it's only been 55 minutes so far. So next, let me put this back on before I forget. Next, I'm gonna show you what to do with the potatoes and onions. Bear with me, we are almost done. Okay, so I have these russet potatoes that were already from 2 days ago. So I'm just gonna cut them up just so you can see. But basically you would just wait for your russet potatoes to be cool so that you can cut them easier. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dice up these russet potatoes and put them into the containers. And then I'm going to add the peppers and onions. So if you're enjoying this video, if you're enjoying this newer style of content, please let us know in the comments section. Let us know what your thoughts are. It really helps boost YouTube to let YouTube know that you enjoyed the video, and that's how YouTube knows to show it to more people. So please take a second to go to the comment section and leave a like. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications turned on, especially because, you know, we have a baby now, so we don't always upload at the same time every week. So you need those notifications turned on. And no video would be complete without a plug for our books. What a perfect Christmas present. We have 2 books now, but this is our newest one, Plant-Based Meal Prep, which is what I was showing you in the beginning with the caramel oats. We have lots of things in here, like talks about the benefits of plant-based eating, what the difference is between plant-based and vegan, how to go plant-based, stocking your pantry, really a great page here, essential equipment, tips for efficient prep day, knife skills, keys to meal prep success, and that doesn't even include all of these recipes in here. So lots of stuff to look at. It's all comfort food, gluten-free, soy-free. It's absolutely, I'm really proud of this. Like this is our baby. So make sure you grab your copy in the description box below. And our website is officially up and running. So there's even options on the website for lots of fun gifts for your meal prep friends. And if you want a personalized signed copy of the book, we can do that also. You can grab that on our website. So there you go. That's my plug for the book today. Now just add the peppers and onions to each of the containers. When I reheat these, I'm just gonna toss them in a saute pan and add some vegan mayo because that is my favorite combination. And look at that. We got 6 meals here of potatoes and onions. Boom. Next, let's do the rice and beans. Just kidding, my timer is about to go off, so let's check on the things that are in the oven. I'm gonna take the russet potatoes out. It's been about an hour, so they should be done. If you're not sure if your potatoes are done, you can just stick a fork in one, make sure that it's done. If it goes through easily, they're ready. They're good. They're cooked. It's gonna depend on how small you make them, obviously. If you don't feel like yours are done, put them in again for another like 5 to 10 minutes, but these are done, so I'm just gonna let these cool. Now for the rice and beans, we're just gonna add the rice into the beans. If you wanna add a few extra bucks, buy some cilantro. You won't regret that. Cilantro with rice and beans, oh, delicious. So it's now 7:43, it's been a little bit over an hour, but as you saw, the cooking was done really fast. It was about 45 minutes. And if I had done the oatmeal too, it would have been about 50 minutes, 50 to 55 minutes. So since I have plastic containers, I am not going to put these into the containers yet because the food is still really hot. But I will come back when this has cooled off and that has cooled off. We'll finish planning it up and then that's it. In the meantime, I can wash the rice pot, wash the cutting board. All in all, you'll be in and out of the kitchen in 2 hours. And if you're a total newbie, maybe 2.5 to 3. That's it. Super easy. And then you're done for your whole week, right? And we're back. So I'm gonna take the rice and beans and add it to the lettuce and tomatoes. And now for another important plug. I finally started the thing that I've been telling you all that I was gonna do for a really long time. I think you guys know now that I'm really an advocate for birth and trying to empower women about the whole birth process. So I've started a new brand called Birth is Beautiful, empowering women to love the birth process. So I'm going to talk about everything from pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, labor, birth, and postpartum. So if you want to follow me while I'm doing that, that is going to be over on Instagram, birth.is.beautiful. And I'm gonna have a website pretty soon that'll be up and running. It's pretty much almost done, but it's birthisbeautiful.net. And there's a Facebook page, and so make sure that you are following me over there because it's gonna be some really exciting stuff. All right, so I still have a lot of rice and beans, like a lot. This is probably another 3 meals. So I am going to definitely cut up some more lettuce and tomatoes and make some for Adam. Almost forgot, the red onions. Okay, so I'm gonna put some red onions in here. So that actually works out too for someone who has other people in the house. Like if you're not just cooking for yourself, then this is great for you because now you have leftover rice and beans and it's for your family. Or you could even have it for like your dinner and then use the rest. Like right now, I'm gonna eat some of that for my dinner right now. So you have extra food for your family. And if you're a solo person, just make tons of meals and leave them all in your freezer. Now to plate this one up, a beautiful little meal. Wow, look at all the colors going on here. So there you have it. With the addition of the extra rice and beans that are in here, we have made 25 meals. You are looking at less than $2 a meal, super healthy. You're gonna feel great. And let me know in the comments if you make this. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Steph and Adam Official. And to be fair, it is 8:07. So it took me less than 2 hours. Everything is done, ready to go. I'm just gonna put the lids on and put them in the fridge. Just gotta clean these last two things and that's it. So I am proving to you that you guys can do this. Super easy. That's it for today. Have a great week. Bye guys.